Battle control initialized.
Hey people, 5aces here and welcome to my epic Fortnite Let's Play. Now, before we get started, follow me on Facebook, on Instagram, follow me on Twitter, follow me on Bing, follow me on MySpace, follow me on Vkontakte, and follow me in real life. Like, comment, subscribe, fondle the subscribe button gently and tell it some sweet little lies. Alright, this is, this footage that you're seeing in the background is the Fortnite map. It's also the part of the ORB 2v2 tournament. That's right, we've got a 2v2 tournament game at our hands. Best of 3 series to be precise, and our players in question are Team Anglophone countries, I guess. That's Happy and Point One from the United States and Great Britain respectively. Not, wow, whoa, Happy disrespecting Britain by going for France, but probably just random allies. And versus Team Very Fragile Alliance, as we have a fragile alliance here between ZxGanon from Germany and Punsho from, I think it's Lithuania. It's one of those 3 countries up in the north, you know. Like 90% sure it's Lithuania. And the map, Jesus Christ, don't even want to talk about it. The map here is Frozen Headland, not Frozen Wasteland. This is the map, like the map equivalent of Jared Kushner. It's just repulsive to look at. Not only to look at, but to play as well. This is basically Artillery Choke Point Central here in the middle. And you don't have many ways of flanking this. There is a corner expansion that is super, that has super high yield with 4 ore mines. Basically, if you can capture this, you're gonna be in a good spot. And on the top right, there's this weird island expansion. Bridges never really work in OpenRA because, yeah, they can get tangled up with wreckages so quickly, they can get destroyed, and they just mess up the pathfinding in general. So this is a super iffy map if you're asking me. I don't know why they picked it. Anyway, that's gonna be, let's introduce the factions as well. This is gonna be Ukraine for ZxGanon. It's gonna be France for Punsho as well. 2 Frances. Was that a deliberate pick? Well, let's just check here. Nope. Random allies and... wow. Deliberate France pick for Punsho. Never seen that one coming. It's probably for the juicy fakes. And there's gonna be a nice little bit of harassment. Point One harassing himself by killing the barrels and kicking himself into low power potentially. No, okay, he's got double power. It's gonna be fine. But not repairing the power plant, not the biggest deal in the world, but still, you know, it's like 40% of health missing here on a PP. Don't want to do that. So that's the mobile flag of Ganon just scouting with a single rifleman as well. I don't like Team Fragile Alliance's color scheming, by the way. This is just brownish black versus and pitch black merged all together, so it's just one confusing writhing mass. Ugh. Not liking it too far, as so far. Oh, that's a nice little drive-by here from Punsho's Ranger. It's a little more brownish than black. So, any more specifics of the map? It's got 2 forward commands. Those are kind of interesting. Those are the only features I like about this map. Oh, nice early harassment by Team Black. Team Fragile Alliance, I'm gonna call them. Because they sniped out like 2 or 3 rocket soldiers there. Basically for free. Hasn't repaired his power plant? Nope. Yeah. Anyway, so this just provides you with a nice little income spike. You don't need to go all-out expansions early on. Nice kiting with the Ranger, by the way, not taking a single point of damage. That's the power of turret tracking, of fire on the move, as you could have seen here. Ooh, is he going for it? Holy crap, he's on Vet 1. Vet 1 means that he's gonna one salvo kill the rifleman in a drive-by. So Vet 1 basically unlocks the drive-by ability. That's pretty awesome. That's a really awesome gameplay dynamic that I like. It just incentivizes unit retainment. And that's gonna be a super early expansion out for Ganon, who is already going for his... I think he's going for the top right, is he? Yeah, he's not trying to contest for this orb. This doesn't yield you that much. This is just for the early mid game because you're gonna have to soak it up really quick, and then you're gonna be left with 1 mine, which is just not that very... Ooh, was that an intended harvester push or a faked harvester push here by Happy? Seems like it, but maybe just an eco transfer. Okay, Punsho's Ranger going in again, this time not finding the drive-by. It's like Rangers scale inversely with unit blob density. The bigger the blob, the more useless the Ranger because it needs to get into melee range. It's got basically the same, or no, a little bit less range than the riflemen. So they're not that prevents them from being OP, because if they had higher range than infantry or the same range, they could perform drive-by so much more efficiently. So first tank falling here from Happy, but manages to establish himself. Oh, and then artillery. That's a nice combo. Ooh, the Zook shot just not tracking far enough. Ranger being retained. That was very cost-effective from Punsho already. He's killed like 2k with that. And going mass artillery production, so forfeiting an early expansion is Punsho. Because he probably just wants to mooch off of Ganon's pockets here. Which is interesting. And I really love how the 2v2 scene has developed. There have been some really interesting gameplay dynamics that have been shown to come to pass here in this tournament. By the way, I've also participated, but my tournament partner, Bane, who you know from the previous cast, unfortunately had a medical emergency, so he couldn't really play. And I then was playing with Net Nazgul. Ooh, almost getting some nice hits on the artillery. Oh, the riches. So then I was playing with Net Nazgul, and I had not practiced with Net Nazgul before, so it was just we were a bit unprepared then. Oh, perfect kiting from the mobile flag. Point 1 just displaying great micro here, pulling the Hind in and finishing it off in one fell swoop. The Hind not diving deep enough. Now there's the problem with no line of sight. Punsho still thinks that the camo pillbox is there and force firing, but I think Happy sold it. Also, this is with the orb changes, so... Ooh, please repair your tanks. So, thank you. Thank you. Service depot is gonna be super busy here, by the way. It's got like 3 wounded tanks. A couple wounded flags as well, but nice team play. Leaves me to wonder whether maybe the service depot is a bit too far forward. And there's a 1 base play from Happy as well. I'm not sure. Okay, no, his expansion just moved out. But this entire region here is completely unprotected by an MCV. Uh-oh. If he has one more Hind, Punsho can actually kick the radar dome. That's gonna suck. That's gonna sting just a little bit. Happy needs to relocate his MCV. It's already getting really spicy here. And great kiting here by point 1. Pulling back his tanks, but I think with 4 heavy tanks, that's gonna be an easy engagement win for Ganon, who's just opted for mass. Alright, that's a Kanyard of Ganon. Taking some fire, but I think he's gonna be able to hold, yeah. No chasing power here. As you can see, but the rest of the army is going for the flank here. Trying to find the MCV. Force fire from Punsho's artillery is just not happening. And that's gonna be an army on the rear. Gonna be a bit nasty to find out, but yeah. There is double base defense reinforcements coming in, so this can be fortified in no time, and the longer point 1 waits, the less likely it gets that it's gonna breach into the Kanyard. GPS satellite coming up for Punsho as well. That's a super early tier 3. We're on 8 minutes now, and that's super greedy in my opinion. Point 1 could be a bit more active with his flags here, could just be actively hunting out the Hinds. And Punsho hasn't had the money for a 3rd Hind just yet, so the radar dome still stands strong. And that's probably the Kanyard not going down. Yeah. Ooh, those Hinds surviving as well. That is rough. That was extremely brutal. That was not what point 1 wanted here at all. Ganon going in with a medium-sized force, lots of tanks, and finally he has adopted... Nope! Nope! It's the old Ganon. It's still the old Ganon. We know him and sometimes, I guess, love. He's like, tank on 1 pixel health? Go back in! You can do it! For the meat grinder, for the Union! So yeah, point 1 has his yak out now, has his spotter. But it's not gonna yield him many results, to be honest, because his flags are just idling in the main base. Like, realistically, this map is so cramped that it's really hard to find a good angle. So I'm not blaming him there. It's really, really hard to get your flags into the perfect position. But at the same rate, just being a bit more active in hunting Hinds would have been a good call. That was a nice snipe on the Hind, though. I mean, more suicidal than anything else. And a massive heavy tank density from ZxGanon. Plus the artillery support from... That's really nice team play, but finally being counteracted by Happy's Hinds. There we go. That's it. Ganon walling off here as well, that's smart, because that's gonna fuck up the pathfinding. Because it's OpenRA. Oh! Do I see... Are you seeing what I'm seeing? Legit. Let's talk about this for a bit. We haven't seen naval play in... I think I've casted around 170 games now, right? And out of the 170, I think like less than 10 had naval gameplay. So I'm stoked to finally see something happening in that regard. That's gonna be the first destroyer out. Maybe a cruiser? Is that a cruiser? Let's see in a sec. He's pretty cash-starved at the moment. No, it's destroyers. That's fine though. But one destroyer by itself is not too scary. Ooh, Kanyard of Happy taking a pummeling. Point 1. No, Punsho has been pinging. Oh, and that's the Flax. Flax going in for the kill. That was so good. Now also finding the snipe on the Husk, on the MCV. That was brilliant play by Ganon here. Teamwork. Flux plus artilleries. Super nasty. Man. And what I wanted to talk about here was that this is played with Orb's balance changes in mind. Orb's balance changes have repurposed the artillery. So it is less AoE versus infantry, also less damage versus infantry, period, but they still do enough damage to one-shot them if they land if they score a direct hit, or a critical hit as it were, as it may be. But yeah, Ganon retaining all his heavy tanks. Ooh, almost all of them. But yeah, so the thing is, the artilleries now have basically pinpoint accuracy with those changes. No more scatter, no more RNG, but less damage overall to compensate for it. So they can easier dislodge positions, which is... I'm fine with that. I'm fine with that change. It's I like the reducing the RNG. And wow, those two destroyers completely caught him completely off guard. There's just nothing defending the coastlines. Right, that's one of the only times we're seeing naval gameplay actually have an impact, because that's a 4 mine expansion here. That is super cost efficient here. 2 destroyers taken on 4 ore trucks, denying the mining for quite a bit, because until there's artilleries, there's basically no way of dislodging this. Oh, and the Mammoth tanks are starting to roll out for Ganon. That's the power of the Soviet Tier 3. Ganon should really be a bit more active. As you can see here, the flak track could have gone in. He could have killed those 2 hinds easily. Yeah, point 1's flags. It's been... Oh, that's smart though. That I completely missed that. He denies the mining. He must have killed like a couple harvesters there. There used to be like 2-3 harvesters on this refinery. Right. That was something I missed on my tirade against naval or for naval gameplay. Tanya and Tier 3 out for Happy. But longbows for Punsho, so he's going to be able to more efficiently deny the mining here. Yikes. That is so nasty. Happy is probably, yeah, queuing up an AA gun. Right there. MiGs for Ganon, I don't know about that. So far, his success rate with MiGs, I've just never seen him make them work. These are also Orbs MiGs with slightly increased damage per volley, but decreased ammo count, so the overall damage in a magazine stays the same. With 6 rockets instead of 4, instead of 8, that's kind of a compromise that I'm okay with. But those super bursty MiGs that someone proposed with 1 MiG down, second almost dying. So someone, I think it was Net Nazgul, just reduced them to 4 ammo pips. And that was too much. That was just too much, period. Oh my, there's a Raider Jammer. They have killed the expansion. Those 2 destroyers, the most cost-efficient destroyers I have seen in my life. They've killed the FCOM here. Oh my goodness, there's Punsho. Punsho with the high tier. I really love how Punsho didn't overcommit to infantry on this artillery-centric map. Instead, he just went for those specialist units. And here we've got Tanya in the backlines, and yeah, now it comes to bite Happy in the arse because he just simply skipped his Connie out there. That's awesome. He's gonna probably get the service. Yeah, service depot, 3 refineries. Yikes. Ooh. Now a direct hit, critical hit from the artillery. As you can see, pinpoint accuracy makes them so much more efficient. And honestly, Ganon didn't have to do that much. It was just Punsho with the surgical strikes here. Ooh. MiG almost dying. Yeah, Punsho with the surgical strikes really crippling the economy. Especially those 2 destroyers. Still going large. They are still at large. Vet 1 here. Tech Center not quite in range of them. Man, and the longbows as well. Punsho has killed so much econ that I don't even know whether point 1 and Happy can come back from this in game 1. Now it just goes to show, staying on tier 2 is not always the solution. sometimes a specialized tier 3 push is just more efficient. The radar jammer I love, but it hasn't seen much use in this game. Alright, there was a paradrop somewhere along the lines. Yeah, it's gonna get another ore truck. Yikers! And again, point 1 just does the infantry station there. It's gonna take a beating. Man, I really want to see the econ graph afterwards. That's a Chinook. Oh, smart. Uh-oh! Batches approaching. That's exactly where I thought they would be going. Plus, those longbows are so cost efficient here. Can now snipe the only war factory that Happy has. One of the batches got taken out by the anti-air gun, and that's gonna be the radar dome down as well. Wow, okay. Oh, is it enough? Is the oh! Well, that was like the Japanese parabombs, right? Some good old kamikaze moves there. Wow. Yeah. No parabombs, no hands. Look, look, I can do it. No hands. I think Happy's trying to kill the bridge here. Yeah, he's force firing on the ground. Trying to yeah, that's smart. That's gonna cut off some of the income. And he can now expand himself. That's a smart move. I just don't know if it's enough, because there's already pretty much critical mass out for Punsho and Ganon in Game 1. There's always Game 2 and potentially Game 3. Right, the Kingmaker's on the field. Ganon hasn't been too active thus far, but he's got to make up for it with a parade of mammoth tanks that looks like Red Square on Victory Day. Look at that shit. How do you stop this fleet of mammoths? Enough to one-tap a Tesla coil, enough to two-tap a Conyard, enough to just kite any amount of infantry for as long as he wants. By the way, I think it was Punsho. Someone found out, and I think it was Punsho, like 90% sure, that mammoths, when left to their own devices, prefer shooting Tusk missiles. That's super interesting because it makes them more anti-infantry with the turret changes than it does make them anti-armor. So mammoths are not only a multi-purpose weapon, they're also just now amazing infantry killers. As evidenced here, losing 2 mammoths, but it's completely fine. He's just launching the entire base, and he's here to stay. Uh-oh, point 1's mammoth is in a very compromised position. Just gonna put it out there. Ganon's mix, success ratio so far, thus far, 0%. I think, has he killed a Tesla coil or something? I think he must have killed 1 Tesla and that's it. Oh, single file formation, pushing into the mammoths. That's a terrible idea. That's a really, really terrible idea. The splash damage plus the rate of fire are just gonna ensure that Ganon's tanks are here to stay. That's another mammoth down the grinder. And 5 mammoths here out for Ganon. I think that's gonna seal the deal. What awesome team play. That is a spectacular Game 1. I'm hyped for this series. Yeah, this is gonna be it. No two ways about it. More mammoths coming in. The flak's here for the chase. Oh, look at them murdering the Conyard. Undeployed MCVs are just fodder for black trucks. Whoa, nice. That's the tech down, expansion down. Yeah. No dice, my friend. And the GPS was 30 seconds from coming up, but doesn't change the fact here. Radar jammer has been a bit useless as well, because he never dared pushing into a base fortified with artillery. Man, I really gotta commend the team play here from Punsho and Ganon. Team mixed bag, as I prefer to call them. The phase transport with Tanya was insane, just blew up like 3 expansions. The destroyers were insane. One of them still alive, by the way. Jesus, the most cost-efficient destroyers I've ever seen. Nice to see some naval gameplay in 2v2 as well. And on a land-based map nonetheless. Awesome. Alright, and with that out of the way, we're gonna laser focus our attention on game number 2.
Battle control terminated. Battle control initialized. Game
2 is being played on an actual palatable map. That's awesome. This is Double Step. Offers no naval gameplay, unfortunately, aside of just griefing with a couple of cruisers and destroyers and hiding your MCV in the top left corner, which is a perfectly viable strategy if you ask me. And also with switched up team colors, so don't be surprised. This time we've got point 1 as the black guy, and Happy as his yellow teammate, and they're gonna be Germany and Ukraine respectively. Teaming up versus Team Mixed Bag. This is gonna be Punsho against France in heinous purple, and Ganon as red. basically campaign Soviet red. This is a color to my taste. And also, ooh, also is Ukraine, so we're gonna see some Parabomb in action, hopefully. No Tesla tech, because last game it kind of bit point 1 in the ass. He went for his Tesla tech, and it was just not efficient versus the mammoths. Because simply put, Tesla troopers can't keep up. But if he had gotten up to Tesla tanks are an awesome counter, by the way. And this is gonna be some very specific team play already. This is Grenz from point 1 rushing into the base of ZxGanon all across the map. And a nice little distraction maneuver from Happy. With the line of sight advantage here. Just trying to brute force his way in and force Ganon into building. Problem is, yeah, was about to say, this early aggression is gonna queue a team up to queue up the pillbox. Gonna queue a team in. God damn it. You know what I'm talking about. Gonna queue a team into putting up the pillbox. I mean, it's allies. You're always gonna have a pocket pillbox anyway. Right. That leaves us with an all cap for Punsho and all cap for Ganon. So a slight early game advantage here for Team Left. And nothing much to show for point 1 and Happy. Okay, he's going for a super early rocket soldiers. He's probably afraid of an APC, like Ganon occasionally does that, where he wants to assert field control and dominance by means of building an early APC of 1 harvester. Nice little 5-stack here. Decreasing the chances of an engineer snipe, so that's gonna be a recapture for Happy. And that's something I've always been curious about. I think this is gonna reflect in the score, yeah. Look at the score line here. I think he's only killed like 7 units, but he's 37 score. Let's check combat. Yeah, he's killed slightly more. Oh, he's killed an engineer, obviously. So it's really weird how it... Oh, it reflects with 25 points then. Yeah. Interesting little tidbit. And there's gonna be a super awkwardly placed War Factory from Happy. So I'm not a big fan of the backline War Factory. I rather myself prefer the frontline War Factory. He will build a Mad Tank with the legendary. Alright, also changed the Mad Tanks. But I still don't think they're that good, because all he did, they still retain their suicidal traits, but now they kind of disable defenses with an EMP shockwave. Uh-oh, that's a flamer drop, and it might get scouted here. Don't reveal your hand, don't reveal the flamethrower, buddy. He's also chasing after a ranger. This is like the worst thing you can do. Ah! Flame tower blocking the pathing, and thus the ranger dies. And that's also a nice little light tank push from Happy. 1 light tank, bit of mixed infantry, just gonna be able to easily tackle an Wilderic. But there's gonna be a Reconquista going on from Ganon, reclaiming his Wilderic, putting his boot down and saying, "Mine!" Classic German move, if you're asking me. Anyway, let's not delve into politics too far. 5 harvesters out for most players, I would assume. 4 only. Oh, very diminished field presence from point 1 right now. Oh god! 4 harvesters for Happy as well. How come? Did the light tank put him that far behind? Like, his rush was just off of infantry. So an infantry-based early rush usually doesn't set you back too far behind, because you're gonna have 2 harvesters anyway to spare. You're gonna have some nice income. Oh, fake radar dome. 2 fake radar domes. I was about to say, why is he building the real one in the front? But they're all fakes. Spoiler alert. Nothing is real. By the way, fakes now chain off of each other. You can build fakes off of other fakes, so it doesn't use up valuable construction space. This little incursion, this little push here is easy to be dealt with by Ganon. Just needs to build like 1 or 2 flame towers, some nice infantry. The APC with the flamethrowers, it's still there. Still sitting there, biding its time. But I think they're both aware of this. I think Ganon and Punsho know that this is here. They've kind of seen it with the Ranger, and they've also seen the early flamethrower infantry, which is usually a dead giveaway. I think Happy can fight this because of the lack of rocket soldiers. Yeah, there's only 3 rockets, and if he snipes them out, then the light plus the medium are gonna be the kingmakers on the field, which is exactly what he's doing right there. Sitting in Tesla coil range though. Just barely sitting in the minimum range. That's the drop here. He knew that the Tesla coil was pulled. Pull him back! No, not like this! Abandoning ship here is point 1. Nothing survives. Nothing. This is just scorched earth. Mutually assured destruction. That's a service depot for... well, problem is Ganon has got his MCV out. That's a really unlucky timing because I think team right-hand side is gonna assume naturally that he managed to catch him before the MCV timing, which would have reset the build queue. Ooh, that's a nasty timing. Both expansions go out unpunished. And, oh my goodness, no, not like this. Happy is gonna lose his MCV if he doesn't pay close attention. No, not like this. Another zap, plus the concrete wall, yeah, stopping the deployment. This is such a good position for a team left-hand side to be in. That was a brutal and savage display. Just unlucky timings, to be honest, though. This could have gone way better for point 1 and Happy if only the MCV had been a couple seconds later. Yeah, nothing to come out of this one. There is the Heinz for Happy, but he's gonna live on borrowed time, because as soon as his ore patch depletes, naturally he's gonna have nowhere to go. He's gonna have nowhere to run, nowhere to hide. 2 Heinz out, and that just occupies your build queues as well. So he needs to snipe out all the rockets here. If he snipes out all the rockets, he can win with just 1 tank plus infantry. But it doesn't even... he's not even building a tank right now. That's an MCV. Yeah, right. Right, that kind of makes sense. He was behind. Was put under pressure. And a huge army closing the gap already from Punsho. No longer in heinous brown, now in heinous purple. All set of different shapes and sizes. Yikes, that's a brutal display. That's just a slaughter and a half here. Oh, unlucky timing. Heinz are coming in, but just in time to see that there's a lot of tanks. A lot of tank action going on, and Happy going for like his signature move where he doesn't actually focus the rockets. He just lets God sort them out by pulling his Heinz above enemy infantry. Let God sort them out. Okay, so the expansion survives though. That's kind of what he needed. Oh, what is the MCV of point 1 doing? Is he trying to go for a base push here? That's never gonna work, not in a million years. There's the flak truck. Good night, Lucy. That's looking grim in game 2. Yikers. I was hoping for a 3rd game. This doesn't appear to be the case here. As GG has already been called, and I think Ganon is just gonna put on a victory lap here for show. GG. Yeah, wow. Game 1 was relatively even and undecided for a long part. Game 2, though, really kicking it up a notch, and just perfect synergy here from Ganon and Punsho, always covering for the other's weaknesses. And yeah, it was a nice attempt from Happy, going for Happy in point 1, going for the double aggression. But unfortunately, there was a pillbox shutting this down very quickly, and it just went south from there. It went really downhill as soon as the first Tesla coil from Ganon just sniped an unsuspecting MCV, and Happy didn't pay attention there. That was just the pivotal point there. He could have reclaimed the northeast, maybe just bided his time there. Could have gotten his tech out on 3 more harvesters. That would have been alright. He would have been in a good position, but as it stands, losing 2 MCVs this early in the game is just a straight up GG move. Alright, that's awesome. That means that... well, it's not awesome because I was hoping for a game 3. But what's awesome is that the 2v2 scene is in action, and I think, despite this being the finals, I might cast some more games from this tournament. So those were kind of awesome. That was tons of fun. Right, thank you for watching, guys. Follow me on Bing, follow me on the calculator app on your smartphone, follow me on the camera app of your smartphone, follow me on Google+. Is that even still a thing? I don't know. Follow me on StudiVZ, and yeah, stay frosty. Thanks for watching. 5 Aces out.
Battle control terminated.